Hello, welcome to Joy in Our Town. I'm Sherry Duckworth. We have a great show for you today with Dallas Leadership Foundation. Mr. Will McCall, the CEO and president, is here to speak with us today. But before we talk with him, take a look at this.
At its core, DLF is about building community leaders. There's good in each person. We go out and find it. Serve them, love them. That's what we teach leaders to do.
I think the important work of DLF is in the fact that it is salt and light in a world that is dark.
There's these negative impressions that we see, and there's so much good that is going on. When you get involved, you'll see how much good is actually out.
My drug use, it ate me up so bad because I knew it was wrong. I knew I was hurting people, and I tried to destroy myself. Doing time just became something that I dealt with.
In prisons, we have men who are thought to be worthless. We remind them that they all have a call. They all have a leadership duty. They all can come back and do something for their community and for their families. And we connect them through teaching about how to be leaders of their life, of their families, and to their communities as God gives them ability.
Meeting the people at Dallas Leadership Foundation, it gave me a hope. Nobody can do it on their own. And I mean, they're like my family. I mean, I love each and every one of them. I love to get up, come to work. I'm married. There's always hope. You just can't quit.
Since 1995, we have partnered with businesses, churches, to make neighborhoods better, to make them safer, because there's a lot of problems, but the one issue that is in every problem is a lack of local leadership. We're in 11 different neighborhoods throughout the city of Dallas, building local leaders to make housing safer, to better improve the housing, and connect residents to making a difference.
Que ella nos ayudó buscando gente que nos pudieran ayudar, voluntarios para poder hacerlo todo, porque uno solo pues no iba a poder.
We're in 10 different schools helping young people learn about how to find their purpose in life, understanding that they do have impact and they can be leaders in their own right.
There was people listening. There's people who actually cared. And so it was something that kind of changed that outlook on life where, you know, I'm just another person, and you're not just another person, you mean something. And so those kids who are maybe picked on or insecure or don't necessarily have as much confidence as others, this is a place they can go, can feel like they belong.
What is gratifying to see is the individual lives changed of now thousands. My hope is that we will influence more and more lives and observe and experience the joy of seeing how the people we serve begin to serve others.
We have great hope for the future. We see it every day.
It's not necessarily for us to fix everything, but it is to us to become involved, to get engaged in the effort.
DLF has an amazing 20-year legacy. Imagine what we'll do in the next 20 years.
Wow, first of all, thank you for being here and for what you're doing for the community.
Thanks for having me, Sherry.
Okay, so Mr. McCall, talk to us about Dallas Leadership Foundation. I love the idea of helping neighborhoods initiate spiritual and social change. That was my topic for today, and that excites me, living in this community, being a part of this community, and knowing that there's an organization that's concerned about that. So talk to me a little bit about your origins.
Well, DLF was started in 1995, and we're a leadership organization. We're a Christian leadership organization focused on developing local leaders.
Yes.
Our mission is to identify, affirm, and develop leaders to transform communities.
What I like the most about that video is that you're developing leaders and what we see as servanthood. And to me, that speaks volumes about the kind of leaders that you're trying to bring up in this area. Talk to me about the importance of serving.
Absolutely. We do in everything we do, neighborhoods, prisons, and schools, we teach a thing we call J13 leaders. So it's leadership based on John 13. You remember when Jesus washed feet?
Oh, yes.
You know, when he took off his rabbi robe, put on a servant's towel, humility. So if you don't have humility, you can't serve. Not only did he have humility, he had intimacy. You remember when Peter said, not my feet? But he says, if I don't wash your feet, you have no part with me. So there has to be intimacy in our leadership. But not only that, then in serving, we serve everyone. He did both the beloved John and the betrayer Judas's feet. He washed both feet. And then we have a role to play. So he put his rabbi robe back on at the end. And then the final thing is to teach others to do the same.
Yes, that is so powerful, especially when you stop and think about the fact that he washed Judas's feet.
That's right.
You know, when you think about that, and if we're supposed to emulate him, it's not, we don't get to pick our bestie or
That's
the
right.
person that has, you know, oh, the cute kids that we want to help out. It's everybody that needs it. And
That's
so, wow, what a challenge to us as Christians, as believers, to really walk it out like Christ. I mean, it's one thing to talk about it, it's another thing to actually do it. So.
And we see it. We see it. We see people of great faith and people of goodwill, because we're not just about hanging out with Christians.
Right.
We want to be a witness to the world, but the word says they will know us by our love. And so if we could show love to one another and love to the world, they'll be drawn in.
It's like the leader in your video said, you're here to be a salt and light, the salt
Yes.
and light of the world. And I just love that. I love that you're out there serving people this way, showing them servant leaderhood, being humble in your leadership. For me, that to me just speaks volumes about the kind of leaders that you're trying to grow in this area. Tell me a little bit about the people that you connect with. How do they hear about you, or how do you find them?
That's a great question. Well, one, we don't go out and look for folk, because we only go when we're invited in. Because the one thing that one of our mantras at DLF, at Dallas Leadership Foundation, is we won't work any harder on your problem than you're willing to work on it yourself. So leaders call us in. So the word is out, thank God, and there's a network of leaders, especially neighborhood leaders, and they ask us to come into their communities. And we know that they have assets, abilities, and God-given gifts, and we'll bring our abilities and our God-given gifts, marry them with theirs, and we get to work. So we're usually invited in.
I love that. I love that we're invited in. I think that also is a great leadership quality. You know, you're not forcing yourself on anyone. You're saying, hey, we're here. You'd like our help. We can do that for you. I think that's really, again, it shows integrity in your organization, and it shows, the kind of leaders that you are hoping to build out there in our area. We have more video to show, and I'm excited to see it because I'm enjoying this so much and just hearing about the organization. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this is.
Hope. Thousands of individuals lack hope, and for good reason. Life is full of pressures and problems. Across Dallas, people are struggling to find jobs, pay for costly gas and food, raise their children, and keep their aging homes repaired. Many are searching for hope. Some students involved with DLF's youth leadership movement are receiving hope and extending it to others in their high schools.
The Youth Leadership Council has impacted my life by helping me become more involved in my community. I would define hope for our generation as young people just having a sense of purpose and believing in God and going and seeking after Him, and just trying to become the person that they know that they're meant to be and finding their calling in life.
I'm the head coach here of Ring of Hope Boxing Club. It helps the kids keep off the streets, and when they come in here, we try to mentor them. Out there is no good, so we try to keep them in here and work with them while they would stay out of trouble.
DLF walks alongside men and women who were previously incarcerated by assisting them with housing, documentation, and work experience. We provide loving accountability and help them seize new hope.
I've been out of Dawson State Jail since July the 14th of 2010, and I was in a faith-based dorm there for 8 months, and they gave me the tools and a safe place to be able to go when I got out to prepare for my new life. Hope to me looked like that I had a place to go when I got out.
DLF is helping leaders to perfect their vision to extend hope to others.
One of the things that the back office support program gave me was an opportunity to really utilize my time in a way that I could spend it on the mission that the Lord had placed on my heart. The other major piece besides the back office support that has been a tremendous value to me was the executive coaching that I received from DLF's President Will McCall. What hope looks like in the inner city is having Dallas citizens experience the transforming presence of Jesus Christ through collaborative efforts to promote safer, more stable neighborhoods free from crime and urban blight.
For DLF, hope is Jesus Christ. Bring hope.
It's always really powerful to hear people's personal stories and just how they're affected by organization, and I think that speaks volumes. Theory of change. Talk to me about what that means to your organization.
So our theory of change is that if we have a critical mass of resource networked, equipped local leaders, then we will have transformation that will persist in any community. So we see that in the prisons, we see that in the neighborhoods, we see that in the schools with at-risk youth. When there's a culture that can move the culture, a community that can move the culture back to Christ according to their way, not to, I'm the old guy, so the youth team makes fun of me. I still think I'm hip, but they don't, and they don't know what they're talking about. But, we use euthanese, that's what I call it.
Euthanese.
So they talk in their youth talk and
Yes.
They do their thing, but it's still the same methods, the same principles. And when we do that, that's when change happens. But you need local people. You need the people of the community leading that change and not someone from the outside.
It's that old adage of, you need to meet them where they're at.
You got it.
Right?
Absolutely.
That's what I hear you saying. Also, I love the fact that you are looking at this from a perspective of what language do you speak? Mm-hmm. And that's what we're going to bring to you, because it brings that sense of being familiar. Mm-hmm. So it makes it less scary, especially when it's something new. I also like, too, that you point out that people have a desire. Like, we have people in our community who want to do something, but usually the disconnect is in the equipping. Mm-hmm. I see a need, I want to do something, but I don't even know where to start. Mm-hmm. And so it's great that you provide those tools of the how-to. So for those who have a passion and a desire to actually do something to see change in our community, they have a place they can go. So in saying that, if there's someone watching today who's inspired, that would like to be a part, how would they get in touch with you?
Well, first, you can go to our website, and that's at DLF. DLFTX.org. That's like Dallas Leadership Foundation, Texas. Okay. DLFTX.org. You can go on there. There's a sign-up form. You can sign up to be a part of the prison ministry, youth, help us in neighborhoods. Our telephone number is 214-777-5520. You can call us. One of our directors or myself or someone from the staff would be happy to talk with anyone who wants to volunteer, who has some need, but just be willing to work. Yes. Because we are not relief, we're development, and that's what Jesus has taught us to do.
I love that. One thing I've learned about sitting in this chair is that there are wonderful amounts of people in this area who have a heart to serve. And so I'm glad that you're here to give them an opportunity to do that. And we're glad that you're watching us today here at Joy in Our Town.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Hello and welcome to Joy in Our Town. I'm Sherry Duckworth. Joining me today is Miss Nicole Hernandez. She is the Executive Director for Bridges Safe House. We have a great program to talk about Bridges Safe House. They really take care of the women here locally in Dallas, and we're going to learn more about that. So take a look at this.
Bridges is a safe place where women and their children can come to find a place of rest and a place of peace. in a time of crisis. So that can be a homelessness situation, it can be an unexpected pregnancy, a loss of job, whatever has led them to a place of desperation and a place of hopelessness and a place where they need help. We're here to provide that help and that support, that love and that kindness, and give them the resources that they need to transition to long-term living and also to help them become more stable.
I thank God for what He does here and how He does provide for the women. You know, they have a wonderful facility, you know, and sometimes it's not what they expect. However, Bridges is a gap for them. You know, I think it's an extension of God's arm saying, you know, at this point, you know, I want to get your attention. And with the volunteers that come here and share on whatever level that they operate or whatever level that they find themselves to be gifted in that area to serve, then you know, the needs of the women and also just the building to run effectively and efficiently is done by God, the hand of God through the women and all the volunteers that work here.
And I think all of those things combined really helps to put the women at ease and know that we're not here to take anything from them. We're not expecting, well, we are expecting that they would follow the program and get the most out of their time here, but maybe not expecting like other people have expected from them. That we're really here just to unconditionally love them and support them through this time in their life.
A lot of times I'm fed more than they are. You know, I'm encouraged more than they are because, you know, they don't have to listen to what I have to say. But when I walk in the door, I don't know who's going to be behind the door, but I'm going in with the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, and we come in to do ministry, you know, just any opportunity that God allows them or me to have in that moment is one to be cherished. So it has been with all of them. Everyone that I meet, I'm encouraged by them some sort of way. You know, it's a bridge. That's what Bridges is. It's a bridge.
Thank you, Nicole, for being here today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
It's always wonderful and beautiful as a woman to see other organizations that are really about supporting and empowering women, but even more so organizations that say that they want to be the hands and feet of Christ.
Yes.
And so hearing that in the video, it just felt like a warm hug, you know? It's good to hear that. Talk to us about Bridges Safe House. Tell us a little bit about who you are and some of the background.
I would love to. So Bridges has been around going on 18 years, located in Cedar Hill, but serving all of the Metroplex as well as even outside. We do have women that relocate just to get to safety or get to stability. Our program is really a community effort. It was started by the Cedar Hill community and still today is supported by our local churches, volunteers like you saw in the video. It's not just about Bridges, it really is about the entire community supporting women and their children through a time of crisis.
I love hearing that the community started it.
Yeah.
And so Cedar Hill is a wonderful area.
Yes, it is.
And so to hear that the people of Cedar Hill began this work that they saw a need and that it's there and it's thriving is just a wonderful it's just a wonderful example of the great community that we get to be a part of here in Dallas-Fort Worth.
Amen.
So
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're there.
Yes, me too.
Talk to me about homelessness to stability. What does that mean?
So it's something that we kind of like our tagline, if you will. But homelessness, a lot of people think of shelters. You know, there's so many different stereotypes when it comes to homeless women and homelessness, and that the women are just wanting a handout, you know, that they are just wanting to come and take. So our goal is to go from homelessness to stability, that when they leave our programs, that they are either further in their education, further in their career, wherever they are, because they come from all different backgrounds. They come from chronic homelessness all the way to maybe someone that's experiencing it for the first time. So we're not just a shelter, we're a loving home that shows God's grace and love and helps them get from one place to another.
I love that because you're really holding their hand through this change and through this process.
He's holding their hand.
He's holding their hand.
We get to,
through you.
yes,
through you, for sure. And I just think about, you know, how scary this might be for some of them, especially if they have never known another way. So talk to me kind of, what are some of the fears? What are some of the roadblocks that you see?
Just fear of the unknown. Especially, you know, whether, like I said, they have come from a shelter or this is their very first time. They may have seen other shelters and there's mass population, a lot of people in a room. And I'm not saying that that's bad. There's a place for that. But, you know, we provide a comfortable home community type environment where the women in the home end up building relationships and encouraging each other and helping each other overcome those fears. But one's fear of the unknown, one's fear of losing freedom. You know, they think they're going to come into our program. It is very structured. It's not for everyone. You know, they don't get their cell phone, and that's a barrier for a lot of women. There's no contact relationships. That's a barrier. But once they come and they just feel peace, that overrules any fear that they had, and they start to settle in.
It's like they're afraid of surrender, and aren't we all?
Yes.
But then when we do, you're right.
Afraid of surrender.
Once you actually do surrender, you can do that. You can exhale, right?
Yeah.
I love watching the videos because I feel like when you hear the testimonials of these women, you get to hear and see the shelter. It just really helps us to see what you're doing. And so we love to take a look at videos. We're going to watch another one right now. Take a look.
Growing up for me was pretty tough. You know, I was in a single parent household for a while until my mom got married. Once she remarried, the situation changed, which led me to be bounced from home to home. Up into teenage years where I moved in with my dad and his girlfriend. And I stayed there with them until Hurricane Katrina hit. I think people that don't understand that it's not everyone's choice to be home. The people that's homeless is not just by choice. You know, some people are in situations where a situation just happened which led them to being homeless. That's what led me and my kids to being homeless, you know. Stay-at-home mom, married, depended on my husband. You know, he took care of the household, paid the bills. I didn't have to do anything, just stay at home. A situation came up and he was arrested and he went to jail. Once he went to jail, it left me and my kids without income. It left me without anything to be able to provide for daycare for my kids, and without daycare, I couldn't afford to work. Started working, got on my feet a little bit, but still had to depend on people because the money that I was earning was still not taking care of the bills. So I had to move in with my mom, who then kicked us out because, like I said, she couldn't handle my boys being boys, which basically led me to have to find somewhere for me and my kids to go. Number one experience for me that at Bridges that really just made me want to cry, and I think I actually did cry, was for my oldest son Jesse's birthday. Just as, you know, before moving into the hotel, I had to get rid of all of his toys. Him and his brothers, I had to throw everything away. And I remember my baby crying, asking me why was I getting rid of his stuff. And I know I told him that I would replace it with bigger and better things. And within 2 months, it was replaced and beyond what my kids had. There were people coming in and out on his birthday. He had 2 birthday parties here at Bridges. Honestly, he opened up like 100 gifts, maybe more. And they didn't forget about his brother. It was his birthday, but the volunteers made sure that they did not forget about Josiah. Bridges is everything to me. I mean, I'm not even here anymore, and I still talk about Bridges and the wonderful work that they've done for me, you know. I feel like Bridges gave me a second chance at life for me and my kids. I'm on a path from I'm starting LVN nursing school soon, next month in May, and I see me having a career where I can provide for my kids, not a job where I'm still going to struggle, but a career where I can get on my feet and I don't have to depend on anyone. I can take care of my kids myself.
Wow, as a mother, that wrecked me when she told the story of having to get rid of her children's toys, and he's asking her, Mommy, why are you getting rid of my things? And it just broke my heart. But to hear the other side of it and how they were provided for, and to see that, to hear about the volunteers and the people that are giving back, oh, I moved. And I know that other people watching today have to be as well. So for those who are watching and they're moved right now, what do you want them to know about volunteering?
Wow. I would say to them that a lot of people are afraid sometimes to volunteer, feeling like what they have maybe isn't enough to bring to the table. And there is a place for everyone. Even, the testimony that we just saw, she is living her career. She is taking care of herself. Now, I think it's 5 or 6 years later. But it's because volunteers came in and encouraged her. It doesn't have to be something specific. I mean, we have volunteers that go grocery shopping for us. We have volunteers that teach classes, that lead Bible study, that hold babies when moms first come home from the hospital. It's just showing love.
You don't have to have like a degree to do any of this or to have a special skill set or whatever. If you do, great, bring it, right?
Absolutely. Oh, of course. We love people with professional services that can help. We want an organization that is run with the excellence and love, and so we need all people.
Yeah, I like how you said, just bring love, just love them. And that's really, we all have that to give. We really do. I love the holding the baby.
Oh, goodness. Yes, that fresh baby smell.
Yes, they're so sweet.
Awesome.
I just love to hear of such a beautiful place in our Metroplex where women can go whenever they're hurting, whenever they feel hopeless, whenever they don't feel like they have another option. When she talked about, we don't want to be homeless, but circumstances happen. Life happened to me.
That's right.
So before we go, tell us how, those of us who are watching today, maybe we know someone or maybe we are that person. How do we get in touch with you?
So if you have someone that is in need, and it doesn't have to be just housing, although that's what we do, we also help people get connected to resources. We want to prevent homelessness as well.
Yes.
So on our website, bridgessafehouse.org.
Yes.
Or if you know someone, social media, our Facebook, connect with us on Facebook and Instagram.
Awesome.
Or call us.
Thank you so much, Nicole, for being here today. And thank you all for watching us here at Joy in Our Town.